All right, let's get started. Let's start off with House Bill 231 and its equivalent cross-file in the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill establishes that the discovery or perception of or belief about another person's race, color, national origin, sex, gender identity, or sexual orientation, whether or not accurate, one, does not constitute legally adequate provocation to mitigate a killing from the crime of murder to manslaughter, and two, is not a defense to the crime of assault in any degree.
All right, it's open for discussion. So we're on the House Bill 231. Well, yeah, we'll move them together, but. Are they different? So the House Bill is different. If you want to explain the difference, the amendments, the inline amendments are in on the House Bill, the third reading or the third reader. Do you want to? You can. Remember, we left off on this conversation where the House.
The House provides that, and I'm looking at page 2 of the reprint. So in lines 11 through 15, this is focused on mitigation from murder to manslaughter. And then in lines 20 to 25, the focus is on defenses to assault in any degree. Originally, before the House had amended it, it also focused on mitigation of first-degree assault to second-degree assault.
Yeah, I like this version because it covers murder and any kind of assault, right? Is that correct, Jamie?
Does
Or what does the amendment do? Can you explain the amendment?
well,
What I think it is, anyway. Maybe I'm wrong.
right. So the bill as it came in focuses on mitigation, both in the context of mitigating a murder to a manslaughter and a first-degree assault to a second-degree assault. As the House amended it, provided that it altered the bill with respect to assault offenses and said that it was not a defense to the crime of assault in any degree.
In any degree, right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. Just trying to understand this. So the degrees of assault. So we have first-degree assault, second-degree assault, or another lesser crime. What are the lesser crimes? You have assault in the second degree. And what? Just run down, would you? Where would you go from there?
I'd have to think on it a little bit more where you would go from.
The House is saying or assault in any degree.
Right.
We have first-degree assault, second-degree assault.
Which is the universe of assault.
That's what I thought. So I'm trying to understand the difference between the two bills now, because we say legally adequate to mitigate assault from the crime at first degree to assault in the second degree or another lesser crime. So I guess, I'm just trying to understand the difference. So first degree, this says, so let's say you charge somebody with first degree, then you say you can't mitigate it down to second degree or another lesser offense. So is the House's concern that, let's say you were only charged with second degree, and you couldn't do a lesser crime, but my question is there a lesser crime? Aren't we really covering everything here? And their verbiage, it says.
Right. I guess I'm trying to think of a circumstance where the discovery or perception or belief about any of those traits would be used in another sort of defense as opposed to mitigation. Mitigation focuses on adequate provocation, and it's a hot-blooded response that essentially negates the malice of the offense. So, yeah, I'd need to think on that a little bit. Off the top of my head, maybe an argument for self-defense, but that doesn't quite seem to fit.
Yeah, okay, so you're giving some clarity here. So ours says mitigate, and theirs says a defense. Is there a difference between mitigating and defense? Okay.
Mitigation is a type of defense, just
It's a
like
type of defense,
necessity or self-defense.
Right.
So it's just a sort of a species of defense that can be put forward. And the idea is that if there's proper mitigation, then somebody is less culpable for the offense, so it actually downgrades from a higher offense to a lesser offense. So murder to manslaughter.
My comment's brief. I think this is a cleaner bill, and I like it better. I feel more comfortable with it. I believe that these are not the House bill. I think that it is my belief that these are already not defenses. So we're clarifying the law. The other bill gave me pause because of the focus on mitigation and the fact that I thought that it created something that it made me a little uncomfortable. I just think this is cleaner, and I can support it, and, I say we move the bill.
All right, we've got a motion in a second, but let's keep it over. I know there's more discussion to come. Senator Lee, go ahead, if you'd like to speak.
I thought this language also came from the state's attorneys, right? Is that correct, Jamie, for the House bill?
I believe that may be the case. I had received a message earlier. I hadn't had a chance to go through it, but that might be right.
That kind of reflects reality that mitigation doesn't change if the weapon was used or severity of the injury, not intent. Something like
I'm
that.
sorry, Senator.
To the extent.
Speak up in the mic, sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Make sure we get it.
Yeah, so what they were saying is that the new language just reflects the reality that mitigation doesn't change if the weapon was used or severity of an injury, but not intent, right? Is that the basis?
I need to follow up with them. I'm not sure I caught everything you said, Senator,
Okay.
but I'll take your word for it on that one.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Along with two other members in this committee, Senator Lee and Senator Carter, we served in the House Judiciary when, I think, 9 years ago, a decade ago, I think 9 years ago, we passed marriage equality, and I know the three of us were three of the core votes for gay marriage in Maryland, and proud to have been a champion on that with both of you. In that decade since, our gay and lesbian neighbors have made tremendous progress in society, imperfect progress, but tremendous progress nonetheless, and our country and our state is better off for it. Nonetheless, many of the trans members of the LGBTQ community don't feel like progress has been made, don't feel heard in our society, don't feel valued, sometimes even in their own families. And so I think it's time now for us as a committee to stand on their behalf as we stood with our gay and lesbian neighbors almost a decade ago. This is a perfect bill because today is Trans Visibility Day. And so the symbolism of passing this bill on this day is incredibly strong. And so I appreciate Senator Carter for moving the bill and my colleagues for seconding the bill. I will be voting on its behalf, and proudly so.
Okay, so the motion has been made by Senator Carter. It's been seconded by the Vice Chair, Senator Wallstreicher. We will do a roll call.
This is the House bill, right?
This is the House bill.
And it's favorable.
And the motion is for favorable.
Senate bill, we're not going to conform, we're just going to, I'm sorry?
Afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, we don't, all right, excellent. The bill passes unanimously. And to second the Vice Chair's comments, today is International Transgender Day of Visibility, which happens every year on the 31st. A day of remembrance and of recognition for the transgender community, raise awareness of the transgender community and the discrimination that they've faced in our society. And I think this is a small step forward that we can take here in the Maryland State Senate. And so I was proud to cast my vote, my yes vote, for this piece of legislation, and I'm glad that the committee is sending this out unanimously. So with that, thank you all very much. We will now bring up the Senate bill, and I will make a motion to conform the Senate bill to the House bill that we just passed out unanimously. Is there a second on that? Is everyone okay? Great. We're all, yeah, that's right. Yes, Senator Lee, yes. Okay, now we'll go on to, we have some favorable amendments. Everyone was good. Everyone did that. We have some concur, not concurs that I'd like to, no?
Oh, wait, the concurrences? Okay.
Yes.
They are Josh's. Josh, do you have your concurrences? Okay.
So the first is Senate Bill 202.
These are not on the voting list. These are bills that they started out as Senate bills. They went to the House amended them, and now they're back before you to concur or not concur.
So Senate Bill 202, Correctional Services, Parole, Life Imprisonment. The Senate amended the bill in several ways. The House stripped the bill of those amendments and sent it back here for concurrence. We also have the House cross-file, House Bill 3, which passed the House with no amendments.
Can you just give us a quick rundown of the difference between the two versions?
Yeah, the Senate bill passed, as introduced, the bill increased the amount of time that an inmate who had been sentenced to life imprisonment after a crime committed on or after October 1st would have to serve before being eligible for parole from 15 to 20 years, considering allowances for diminution credits. The amendments in the Senate struck diminution credits, so you would have to serve 20 years without dim credits. The House bill removed that amendment, and the Senate bill also included an amendment to require that when a parole-eligible life-sentenced inmate, before they could be paroled, you would need the agreement of a majority of the 10-member parole commission. The House also removed that amendment from the bill.
So these are just straight up and down, no amendments, open for debate. What's the flavor of sure, Vice Chair Walter.
My recollection is we also added some language at some point regarding victim notification, just to strengthen it a little bit. Did the House do the victim notification amendment?
The Juvenile Restoration Act, Senate Bill 494.
Want to go with the House, stick to the Senate version, or go to conference? Is that, what are we voting?
Don't concur, then it goes to conference. If we concur, then it just goes to the floor for approval, and then it's up or down.
Move to concur.
So,
I think Jackson might want to vote.
yeah, where is he? We're Senator Downey should and it wants to participate in this debate. What are the other concur and not concurs? It's the JRA, and then what else?
Senate Bill 263.
Which one is that?
Corporations and Real Estate Investment Trust.
Let's do that one.
Josh, do you have Senate Bill 263?
All right, so
Yeah.
we're just to be clear, we're holding those two because we're down a senator. I just want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to participate. This is a less controversial bill, so let's go to that one.
So this is Senate Bill 263. The bill makes various changes to laws governing corporate actions for corporations and real estate investment trusts, including with respect to form selection requirements, remote stockholder meetings, the Maryland Control Share Acquisition Act, and premature stock issuances, as well as other technical and clarifying changes. So the only change that the House made was to strike out some language in the purpose paragraph. There were no substantive changes to the bill in the House.
So can you get Senator West?
So the motion would be concur or not concur?
I move that we concur.
Everyone okay with that? He moved to concur with the House.
On what? 263, Senate Bill 263.
The trust and estates.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the parole thing.
No. We took that off or down. I'm not going to do that without while we're missing a senator.
Yes, whatever you want on trust and estates.
All right. Everyone okay with that? Great. Let's do some quick work here on the House because so let's go back to voting list.
There's 3 on here, I think, that are,
This is voting list 28, right?
yes.
Senator Wallstrecker also, which if you have 28, let me know. But go ahead.
I was just going to say, he's not on, well, one of my delegates on Economic Matters, House Bill 1000, Delegate Pippi. Estates and trusts, guardians of property, minor disabled persons. I thought it was a pretty non-controversial, easy bill to move. I don't know if Josh wants to explain it.
This bill prohibits a guardian of the property of a minor or disabled person who is not a family member of the minor or disabled person from distributing or dispersing property without court authorization if the distribution or disbursement would financially benefit the guardian or a family member of the guardian, with an exception for a certain reasonable compensation for expenses. A guardian who violates the prohibition would be liable for a breach of fiduciary duty to the same extent as a trustee of an express trust.
I think they're fine.
All right. Is everyone okay?
I need to abstain.
You need to abstain?
I have this piece right now, so I'm going to abstain.
Got it. Understood. So Senator Castleton is abstaining. Okay. Can we do, I have to. All right, I'd like to do House Bill 562, Montgomery County Delegation. Josh, if you could explain that.
So this bill authorizes Montgomery County to decrease the maximum speed limit to no less than 15 miles per hour on a highway after performing an engineering and traffic investigation.
All right, make a motion for a favorable.
Can you just explain this? Is this like a neighborhood or something?
Does this have your amendment in it or no?
This has the amendment that we had in there, we adopted in the delegation.
I'm sorry, which one are we on?
This is Montgomery County Bill 562.
If you have it in your packet, but the amendment would basically extend the authorization to municipalities in Montgomery County as well.
Do we need to amend that now, or do we, is that already on? Do we tag that on in delegation?
No, you don't, you have to vote, you have to vote on the amendment in the committee in order for it to go on. It doesn't just automatically go on when you vote on it in delegation. It still comes from the committee, it's up to the committee to vote on the amendment.
Got it. All right, so I'm going to ask if we adopt the amendment. Is everyone okay?
What are we amending?
So the effect of the amendment would be to apply the authority to the county and municipalities located in the county.
Oh, so it was like Montgomery County and or like a Rockville could do it.
Correct, yeah.
Because this bill, it's been up a bunch of times, because the fear was
Cameras.
that these have speed cameras on them. Do these things have speed cameras where you're lowering it?
Well, look, they don't have speed cameras associated with this, but, I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I don't know what, the county could put speed cameras up different places, so it doesn't touch any of that, so,
So you can get a speed camera ticket now for going 15 miles an hour in Montgomery County? You could, right?
in certain,
All right, that's
Yeah.
all I need to know. Thank you.
Yep. All right, so, Senator Castley.
I'm just curious on more of just a governance standard. Most of the time, the counties don't want to give the municipalities this kind of authority because every little municipality starts dropping the speed limit, and you're trying to move traffic, and the little burgs are all interfering with your county transportation plan. You sure you don't want to say that the municipality can do it with the approval of the county? I'm just, from a good governance standpoint, it can mess up your transportation plan pretty bad, but that's you guys' call.
You're absolutely, so we have a delegation, the delegation supports it, but to your direct point.
Yeah, here, you've got a letter from the.
Okay, here we go. Got it. So we got it from the county government, and they support, this is for the initial bill. Let me do this. I mean, I think we should roll for it, but to answer your question, I have support for the initial bill, but
Right.
there's obviously the interplay between
I'm just saying that
the
usually
county
the
and
county government
municipalities.
would say
Yeah.
the municipality, because they don't control Rockville.
Correct.
But they might want to say Rockville can do it if the county approves. That would be a normal way to do it. Otherwise, the county's trying to do a transportation plan, and then the little burgs are like dropping the speed limits, and they're like, geez,
No,
we've
my
got to move
point,
people through this part. So I just thought to you guys, that's your county.
yeah, my point exactly. So I'd like to roll it, but I will, that's something that, I think the three of us will take on as responsibility to make sure that that's locked in and tight. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let me hold it for one session because the county, the letter that I have for the county is only for the countywide.
For the bill.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I have one separately from the municipalities, but obviously that's different, right? All right. Okay. Thanks, Josh. We'll come back tomorrow, okay?